first reading vlog of 2024, and I am reading your best books of last year. I'm so excited because last year was interesting. There were some ups and downs. We're just going to leave them in 2023, and we're going to focus on your best books and hoping that I can find my first 5-star book right away. Why not? I did start early, or I'm starting a bit early. Technically, it's 2023 right now. Don't tell anyone. But I'm really enjoying it, so I thought we're just going to make it a longer vlog because why not? I started reading The Will of the Many, and I have a good feeling. This is an adult fantasy. I was going to say standalone. It's not. It's at least a trilogy. I think I'll have to look that up. But it is Roman inspired, so I was like, that's my only little worry. I did read Red Rising. Was not a huge fan. To be fair, it was mostly because of the whole woman in the fridge trope. Essentially, is very, very young wife, even though he was young too, gets, and that's what starts his journey. Not really a fan of that trope, but in this case, the prince, his whole family is presumed dead. It's really early in the book, I don't know yet, and he's in hiding trying to survive. The hierarchy is the republic that, you know, went ahead and everyone, and they have magic called will, so the will of the many. And I'm intrigued. Big fan of magic. I believe there's a magical school. Again, I'll confirm later. But you know when you start a book and you can already tell this is going to be a good one? So even though, again, the Roman thing, is that a big thing with men? I feel like on TikTok there was this whole trope of like Roman Empire asking men how often they think about it. And it's like weirdly often. So I don't know when this book was written. Did it start at the same time? Coincidence? I don't know. But I think that might be more the target audience. I'm hoping I'm just going to enjoy it. I'm going to be honest. I love fantasy, but I've been burned so many times. And if you look at my best books of last year, every single one of the ones that made it to my best books was written by a woman. And it's because I'm so tired of reading about sexist books. I'm so tired. So tired. But so far, I'm not getting those vibes at all. So it seems like we're going to be good, and yes, I just want to live it as much as everyone else. That's the whole thing here. So we'll see if we have similar tastes. Usually you know my taste at this point, so I'm very hopeful. I have a feeling this might be my first 5-star. Like the first book of the year, being a 5-star would be fantastic. So that's the first one I'm picking up. And then the next one, I think to balance things out, we're going to go with this one. This is Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone, which is a murder mystery, but apparently it's supposed to be somewhat funny, like the writing. And I haven't been super lucky with mystery thrillers. I've mentioned in the past, I used to take a lot of recommendations from Goodreads, and no. I think I'm tired of like so many twists that like, of course I can't see it coming because it's literally ridiculous at this point. But the thing that really convinced me is that the narrator follows the rules of like classic murder mysteries, and they're not allowed to do like supernatural last second or like too many twists that it's unrealistic. So like it feels like it might be a lot better for me. And again, the tone humor can be hit and miss, but I'm trusting you. I bought the first book. I believe there's a second book too. So if I enjoy it, I'll pick up the second one. And then last but not least, because I have been on a huge cozy fantasy kick, we have Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. I can say it now. I struggled so much to say that word. So this is, again, a cozy adult fantasy. I believe there's a second book. I feel like I saw that cover. And I'm just in the mood for cozy. I've been really enjoying them. You follow this young woman who goes and study fairies in this remote small town, I think. And I love small towns. So I'm really hopeful again. I feel like I'm going to give these books, like I don't think I'm going to give any of them under 3. But I would like to give at least 4 to all of them. That's kind of the goal. Also started the audiobook, or it's going to be my next audiobook, I should say, The Other Badass Sister. I don't think it really counts for this vlog. I might not be able to finish it because it's like 18 hours long. But it's about Mary, like from Pride and Prejudice, the forgotten sister. So that might also be loosely linked to this vlog. I'll talk about it if it's good. But yes, these are the 3-ish books that I'm hoping to start with the year, and the goal here is for one of them to be a 5-star. If it goes well, I'll do that more often. Actually, let me know in the comment section the other best books that you've read, maybe just of all time. If you could make me read one book, what would it be? And if it goes well, I'll do it again. If it doesn't, we'll pretend it never happened. I finished it, and I'm officially angry. Because why would you make me read this book knowing that I now have to wait for the next one? I hate reading the first book when it just came out because, well, not just came out, just a couple months, but like, when am I going to pick up the next one? And there are going to be 3 or 4 books. That just feels cruel. And like, yeah, I got a satisfying amount of content, but I want more. I wasn't fully sold on a few things throughout the book, but I am giving it a tentative 5-star. I feel like sometimes with the first book in big fantasy series, it feels like a 5-star, but like the next book might affect my overall view. Does that make sense? But it's a 5-star. My first book of the year, my first 5-star. And I really enjoyed it. Long story short, this dude adopts him and he's going to be sent to this magical school. I don't know if it counts as magical school because they technically don't use magic, but apparently what they're learning is going to help them use magic. I've enjoyed it. That's what matters. I feel like there's just so much that happens that I can't really say much more than that. It's so complicated, but in a good way. A few things that were a little convenient, but nothing that was enough to make me not enjoy this. I do feel like sometimes, like I said, things are a bit convenient, or like this dude doesn't sleep. Like multiple times we're told that, oh, he's, you know, not as strong or he hasn't had as much training, blah, but nothing ever feels that difficult for him. I'm not mad about it, but just something to consider if it's a big pet peeve of yours. There isn't like a big romance. I'm not a huge fan of romance, especially in fantasy, unless it's like clearly labeled as a romance in a fantasy world. So there's a little bit of something, but it's not over the top. It doesn't take away from the overall premise. And there were a few twists that I didn't see coming in a good way. But yeah, I'm really, really pleasantly surprised. Not that I didn't think you were going to have good taste. Don't take me wrong, but I'll probably take a few days to digest it. Maybe at the end of the video, I'll, you know, choose a favorite book, but I would be shocked if anything beats this because this was good. Like, I really resent really thick fantasy books where nothing happens. I feel like I had a lot of bad experiences with that. I think mostly with YA books. I feel like dialogues basically is the whole book, but this one almost feels like a whole trilogy in one book, again, in a really good way, but it makes me really resent the fact that I have to wait. So it's a little bittersweet that this is the first book I'm starting the year with, because am I going to get in a rating slump? Because this was really good. Anyway, I think we're going to go with something quick and fun, and I'm going to pick up the murder mystery that you guys liked so much, and you guys told me that it was supposed to be funny. So crossing all my fingers that things will go well. Let me show you the kitties because I have two sleeping with me. First off, hello, this is Charlie. Charlie is an interesting cat. He's very pretty, but the lights are on, nobody's home. Look at him. Look at him. So cute. And then Clawdia is looking at me, very unconvinced. What's up? Ignore the rice grains from my magic bag that is breaking apart. She's so pretty. You're so pretty, Coquette. I don't know where Chunky is, but I am willing to bet everything, all of my books, that he's currently in the hallway. I have this plastic container in the hallway. I've been keeping it there because he uses it to sleep. And I say that he's talking boudé. I don't know how you say that in English. Like he's sulking. Like being, oh, I'm so lonely and rejected. And he chooses to go sleep in the hallway when everyone is sleeping on the bed. So let's go and see if he's there. Every last book that I own. Let's go see. I'm so sure. What are you doing? What are you doing? Okay, quick update. I made some progress in the book. This was not planned, but we match. So far, I understand why people were saying the sense of humor because it's a big part of it. And it is humorous. So far, I'm okay with it. I don't know, though. I don't know how I'm going to feel about it throughout the whole thing, but so far it's been a fairly easy and quick read. Main character is now at the resort on top of the mountain. There's a snowstorm, very, you know, on the nose. And actually it snowed today. I did have to, how to say that in English? Pelty. Anyway, it was fun, so fun. Oh, Chunk. Hi, Chunk. Say hi to the people. They like you. Do you have anything to say? Oh, he's making biscuits and everything. Nice. So yes, so far so good. There's definitely seems to be a lot of trauma and drama, I should say, in the family, and it looks like the main character might be responsible for a good chunk of it. So he's not close to his family, let's just say that. So anyway, first impression, sounds good. I'm curious to see if the murder mystery will keep my interest up, because as I mentioned in the intro, I've not been lucky with murder mysteries. Frankly, in general, I feel like I'm giving up on the genre, even though I like it. Same thing with thrillers. I feel like they're the same thing-ish. But thrillers, was it last year? For 2022, when I looked at all my genre, my stats, the worst one for me rating-wise was thrillers. So I've kind of been avoiding them a little bit, even though in my head I love them. I just have yet to find one recently that I've enjoyed. So if the tone being funny helps, maybe I will be sold, because I know there's a second book that is out or about to be out. So crossing my fingers. Do not destroy another sweater. I feel like all my updates have been with this because, quite frankly, the weather, not a mood. And I've been feeling the burnt out from all the videos in the last 2 months. Anyway, I just finished, well, last night, everyone in my family has killed someone. And my enjoyment went like this. The humor did eventually annoy me. I was right with that. And I feel like mostly it felt too long and my interest just vanished by the end. I just really didn't care anymore. I can now explain the premise because at first I had no idea. It starts with someone being dead, found dead, and they just don't know who did it. And then more and more of the family drama comes up, you know, since everyone has killed someone. So you kind of find out what happened and the whole drama with the main character. I'm going to keep it vague, but essentially the main character is responsible for someone being in trouble. So obviously the family's not really happy about it, but someone is being accused of possibly being the person, but then more and more stuff is happening. So, and more people. So definitely like classic murder mystery in terms of the premise. Obviously the execution with the narrator being very different, but I like that idea. But yes, I'm not even sure if I would round it up to 3 stars. I feel so sad about this because, again, I trust you, but again, I shouldn't be that surprised since in general that genre has just not been working for me and I'm so frustrated, but it is what it is. I think that I'm just gonna go with the last book, the cozy fantasy. I was going to say, how much worse can it be? I should have never said that. But I don't know. Maybe right now I need just the cozy vibes and we're gonna see what happens. I am officially giving up. Yeah, it's been almost a week. It's been a week actually since I started it, and I can't make it to page 100. I'm at like 92, 93. And I'm trying to not be in a reading slump, and I can feel it coming. So I think I'm officially giving up on Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. I don't know what it is, if it's the writing, like is it on purpose? Because I get that, again, the character is probably on the spectrum. I feel like that's the vibes you're getting from it. And I thought I would eventually get into it, but I can't do it. I can't. And I know a lot of you gave this 5-star, but I am not one of you right now. I am not. So I feel like it just went down. Book 1, The Will of the Many, 5-star. Yes, loved it. And this one started good and then I kind of lost interest, but overall was still able to finish it, right? And then this one I can't do it. So we have a 5-star, we have a 3-star, and then we have a DNF. So even though I'm happy that I took your recommendations, we might not have 100% the same taste. But that's okay, because I don't think I would have heard of The Will of the Many anytime soon. So I feel like just for that, it was worth it. I'm glad I ended up squeezing it into the vlog because that was a 5-star. But that's it. that's it. Not bad. I'm really happy that we at least started the year on the right note, 5-star to begin with. I have a couple of the books that I'm looking forward to reading, so hopefully... I don't know if I'm going to go back to it. I hate when I feel like this. Honestly, this is the worst because I kind of want to give it more of a shot because I haven't even read 100 pages, but I cannot force myself to read it. Like, I was starting to say, she's reading like she's on the spectrum, and I don't know if that's the reason that I find the writing so dry. I just cannot get into it. Maybe I just don't like fairies. Okay? Like, even the sexy fairies that everyone seems to like. I'm not a fairy girly. There you go. I said it. So I want to give it more of a shot, but I think after a week I've tried enough, and the last thing we need is to start the year in a reading slump. So I'm going to just focus on the fact that this was great. I kind of hate you because now I have to wait for the rest of the series, which is the worst, but I'm overall happy with the way things turned out. I will definitely be reading more of your favorites, actually, in the comment section. Please let me know. They don't have to be the best book you have read in 2023, but just your favorites of all time, especially if you think I would enjoy them. And I will be doing more vlogs about this because I think it's a good way to get out of my comfort zone a little bit. I don't necessarily hear about every book that is out there. Again, I don't think I would have read this one soon because I don't like starting series when I'm not done with so many of the other ones, but this was worth it. I hate that I have to wait, but it was worth it. So that's it. Thumbs up, subscribe. I'll put more videos on the screen, and I have plenty of videos coming up for the rest of the month, so you don't want to miss those out, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.